Hey y'all, this is Britt with Healthy Excited Youth, and today we're going to make a healthy, delicious meal. We're also going to answer some Q&As that you all have. And today, what we have on the menu, we have some jerk salmon. We're also going to do a pesto salmon. We're going to have sauteed green beans on the side made with mushrooms and onions. And we're going to top it off with some cucumber. All right, y'all ready? So we're going to start with our salmon. First thing you want to do is first of all, you want to wash your food, okay? Wash your seafood off, get all the excess scales and everything, dirt, whatever else they put on it when they in the grocery store. Want to wash that off. Then we're going to start with some lemon juice because we want to get that fishy taste out of the salmon. So what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze just a little. You don't want to overwhelm it with lemon juice. You just want to squeeze a little bit on there to get the fishy taste off. Just squeeze. That should be good. Next thing we're going to do, so we have two different types of salmon, remember? So one jerk, one pesto. So we want to first season the flesh of our salmon. We have salt, pepper. Well, we have Himalayan sea salt. This is key. This is key. You don't want to use regular table salt. You want to get you some Himalayan sea salt, okay? Then we have some pepper. We have some garlic salt, just a little bit of oregano, and then we have some season oil. So you don't want to do more than like a pinch of each because we have those seasonings, the jerk sauce and the pesto sauce already. So we don't really need too much seasoning, but you do want it to taste good, okay? You do want it to taste good, so try to get, hold on, salt back. Do a little bit of that. Do a little bit of that. And we're going to season both sides of our food because we don't want one side tasting good and not the other. I feel like I need a pillow. All right. We're going to do the other side, same thing. Sprinkle a little bit of that. We're going to do the other piece. We're going to put the oregano on last because we want it to look like a garnish. Like we did something, you know? You know how they do in the restaurants? They put a little bit of garnish on there, then the price be like $300. That's what we're going to do. I think I put this one on there already. You want to rub it in. Rub it, rub it, rub it. I didn't crack my Himalayan sea salt on there. How you open this already? This? Okay. Huh? And do the other side. It's hot in here, y'all. You want to turn this fire down? I feel like that. That's on the side. Alright, so we're going to take our first sauce. We have the pesto. Pesto is delicious. Delicious, delicious. Normally, it's made with basil. Some people put cheese in it. I'm not really a fan of cheese because I'm like vegan. So, I don't know if this has cheese or not, but it was good when I tasted it. Olive oil, pine nuts. People have different recipes for it, but it's a really good. It's not heavy. It's not like Alfredo sauce. It's not a heavy sauce. It's really, really, really light, but really tasteful. And then jerk seasoning, spicy. That's your spices. That's your Caribbean food. Then you just want to, you can put a little bit more on there. You want to coat the top of your salmon with your... And you can do different. You don't have to do pesto. You don't have to do jerk. You can do like a honey. You can glaze it with some honey and some cinnamon. That's different. Some people do honey and brown sugar. I try to stay away from all those like sugary foods, and honey has a lot of sugar in it too, so I try to stay away from that as well. But yeah, you can do a lot with salmon. You can do a lot of different flavors, a lot of different toppings. It's a really good source of protein. Just the jerk. We already coated the flesh of the salmon, the front and the back. I'm just gonna take our jerk seasoning. We're gonna do the same thing we did with the pesto. And this is spicy, so you don't need a whole lot. I'm gonna take a little bit and try to like spread it as much as you can across the salmon. Now, if you're looking for a good source of protein and you don't eat like beef or pork, salmon is a really good option. It's high in omega-3 fatty acids. It's high in vitamin B. It's a really good source of protein, especially for fish. I try to stay away from a lot of different fishes because, you know, what they do to them now. But if you get like a good Alaskan salmon that's not farm raised, wild caught is always the way to go with fish. Always want wild caught food. Well, seafood, rather. Like I said, this seasoning is spicy, so I'm not going to put too much on there. Just enough to get some flavors on your palate. Mm-hmm. Why I keep doing that dance? I don't know. That's the only dance I know. I don't know how to dance. All right. So we have our 2 salmons, jerk and pesto. We're just going to put them in the oven. We're going to have a baking sheet. I normally like to put foil at the bottom. Actually, I want to coat it with a little bit of olive oil, just so it doesn't stick at the bottom of the pan. Not too much. You don't want to. Oil is high in fat, high in calories, so you don't want to overload anything with a whole bunch of oil. Just enough so that it won't stick to the bottom. So I'm gonna take our first slab. Stick it on here. And I'll take our second one. In here. I put the oven on 375. It'll take about like 15 minutes to get done. It's hot. It's real hot. All right, next we're gonna boil our quinoa. This takes about 14 minutes to cook. You don't have to get boiled in a bag. This is really easy. If you don't know how to cook, you just take this bag and you put it in some water and it's done. That's it. And you season it to your taste and your liking. I'm gonna take 2 bags, place it in water. So I just filled it. It's not a measurement. You just want enough to cover the 2 bags of quinoa. You don't have to put like a cup. Or there's not no specific measurement. You just make enough water to cover the bags. Put it in there. You place a top on it. And you let it do its thing. And it should boil in about, 14 minutes? It says 10 minutes. But it's 14 on the instructions, so that's off, right? All right, what time is it? All right, 15 minutes. All right, so we have our quinoa cooking. We got our salmon in the oven, doing this thing. Shouldn't take too much longer for that. And quinoa, I forgot to mention, is a really good source of plant protein. It's gluten-free, so if anybody has gluten issues, very low in the glycemic index. So what that is like if you have blood sugar control issues, this is good. Better than rice or potatoes or anything of that nature that's very high in carbs and high in the GI. Also, so now we're going to do, what are we doing? Green beans? I think that's next. So we're going to wait for our water to boil for the green beans, but we are going to start with the mushrooms and the onions. So we have our pan. Just want to heat it just a little bit. So you want to put your oil in the pan before it gets too hot, because you don't want your oil to burn. And you don't need too much, just about a tablespoon. You want to spread this around. Try to coat the pan as much as you can. Sometimes I use a paper towel. You got paper towels? To get any excess oils out, because we don't need too much oil. Like I said, oil is high in calories. So sometimes I just take a paper towel and coat my pan, and then that way you can get the excess oil off at the same time. All right. So we're gonna add our mushrooms. We're also gonna add our onions.
All right, y'all. So this is the finished product. We have our salmon here. We have our quinoa, and then we have our green beans that's loaded with onions and mushrooms. Literally, this is like a healthy dish that you can have. You don't need to add anything else, no sauces or anything. Our quinoa is not really a heavy grain that has a high glycemic index. It's very good for blood sugar control, like I said before. So it's better than potatoes, better than regular white rice, and even better than brown rice. Then we have our green beans. This has protein, and the quinoa has protein in it as well. So if you just wanted to do a vegetable plate and take out the salmon because you don't eat seafood, you could do that as well. Our green beans are loaded with protein. Our quinoa is loaded with protein. And then we have mushrooms that fights off cancer. It also has anti-inflammatory fighting agents in it. We have flavors for the onions. It has everything you need. So a healthy dish, you can't go wrong with it.